Hey guys, Alex and Dad from 7th Hour Films back again with Doctor Who. Last time around was The Idiot's Lantern. What was that one about?
Well, I've kind of mixed up originally about the title because I didn't know that applied to the television. But anyway, they return, Rose and the Doctor, having left Mickey behind in the alternate universe, return to see the Beatles in New York City in 1964.
Well, they're going to go see Elvis.
Elvis.
Yeah.
Elvis. But instead of going to America, they land in Great Britain on the day of the Queen's coronation, and something's going on. They can't really figure it out for a while, but people are literally getting their faces sucked off and their brains melted by a lady on the television who happens to be an alien who calls itself the Wire and needs all of these people's energy to do whatever she wanted to do, get back to her planet or destroy our planet. I have no idea. I can't remember what that plot was. But Rose and the Doctor figure out what it is, and they go up and interrupt the signal on top of a giant tower, and she disappears, if I recall correctly.
Gets trapped on a Betamax.
Oh, that's right.
So, and yeah, that was pretty much it. There was also a subplot about a family and the dad who was very abusive, and he's all high and mighty after World War II and stuff like that. And it is a message where I understood the message it was trying to say. I just don't think it comes across very well.
Yeah.
Which is one of the nicer things said about The Idiot's Lantern. So,
You said it's not a fan favorite.
No. At the very least, I know there are some people that say it's the worst ever episode of Doctor Who. Oh. I don't know if I go that far. I'm at least still...
I've seen worse.
I'm still mildly entertained by it, at least. Like, if I just sort of shut my brain off and I'm fine. There are some episodes I can't even do that, and they're just boring as all get out, so I at least put it above those.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much where we left off. We're moving on. We've got, 5 more episodes of this season?
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so we're into the final 5. I mean, if you go by that, then these seasons go by rather quickly, actually, because of how short they are. But yeah, we're on to episode 8, The Impossible Planet. So,
okay. It can't be impossible. According to Sherlock Holmes, he says, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, anything else?
I got nothing.
Then, with that quote at our backs, we might as well just jump right into The Impossible Planet.
Whew. Sorry.
Nah, that's fine.
What's wrong, man? She's sort of queasy. Indigestion, I didn't want to learn.
Oh, if you think that's going to be trouble, we could always get back inside and go somewhere else. Welcome to hell.
Oh, it's not that bad.
No. Over there.
Hold on.
Some sort of
What does that
hieroglyphics.
say? This writing is old. Very old.
Older than the TARDIS.
Impossibly old. We should find out who's in charge. Gone beyond the reach of the TARDIS's knowledge, not a good move. And if someone's looking back... Right, hello. Sorry, I was just saying, nice place.
We must feed.
You got a what?
We must feed.
Yeah, I think they mean us.
We must feed. We must feed. We must feed. You, if you are hungry.
Sorry? 2 living people just standing here right in front of me.
Don't be stupid, that's impossible.
I was just telling them that.
But you're a sort of space base. You must have visitors now and then. It can't be that impossible.
You telling me you don't know where you are? No idea. More fun that way.
Stand by, everyone.
Dude, are we fixed?
Your kindness in this emergency is much appreciated.
What's this planet called, anyway?
No, don't be stupid. It hasn't got a name. How could it have a name?
You really don't know, do you?
And was a surprise.
Weren't the Ood or the planet Ood or something in the Sensorites?
No, but they're similar.
And that man who just left, that was Toby Zed, archaeology, and this
No, it's Tony Z.
security minister, training maintenance.
We're standing under a black hole.
In orbit.
We can't be.
You can see for yourself. We're in orbit.
But if there's no atmosphere out there, what's that?
Stars breaking up, gas clouds. We have whole solar systems being ripped apart above our heads before falling into that thing.
So a bit worse than the storm then.
Just a bit.
Just a bit, yeah.
I understand the scientific curiosity, but I would not want to be on this planet, even if it does have a perfect orbit. And ghosts, apparently.
Gravity funnel reaching out into clear space. That was our way in.
You flew down that thing? Like a roller coaster?
By rights, the ship should have been torn apart. We lost the captain, which is what put me in charge.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah, needs must.
Needs must when the devil drives, Miss Furnival, whatever that means.
Thank you. I'm sorry, what was your name?
We have no titles. We are as one.
Neat.
What are they called?
Oh, come on. Where have you been living? Everyone's got one.
Well, not me, so what are they?
They're the Ood.
The Ood?
The Ood.
Well, that's Ood.
Very Ood. But handy. They work the mine shaft.
Since when do humans need slaves?
But the Ood offer themselves. Like, if you don't give them orders, they just pine away and die.
Seriously? You like being ordered about?
It is all we crave.
Why's that then?
We have nothing else in life.
Yeah, well, I used to think like that. Long time ago.
There we go, do you see?
I mean, geez, I can get you a PlayStation or something.
Why did you do that? Why? I'll tell you why. Because it was there. Brilliant. Excuse me, Zach, wasn't it?
That's we.
Just stand there, because I'm gonna hug you. Is that alright?
Suppose so.
Here we go. Coming in. Oh, human beings, you are amazing!
When Edmund Hillary climbed Mount Everest, someone asked him why, and he said because it was there.
The TARDIS is gone.
Door 16 out of commission.
The earthquake. This section collapsed.
It's got to be out there somewhere.
Look down.
There's not really an out there anymore.
The ground gave way.
I'll put you on the duty roster. We need someone in the laundry.
Open door 1.
Medical bay.
Meh.
He is a doctor.
It's gonna play all night.
It's a long piece, but
Oh, never mind.
Do you actually get paid, though? Do they give you money?
The beast and his armies shall rise from the pit to make war against God.
Okay. You what, mate?
Apologies. I said, I hope you enjoy your meal.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Alright. No more talking to the Ood.
Close door 3.
Close door 3.
He is awake.
What did you say?
Close door 3.
Good transition.
That's not done.
Don't look at me.
Who are you?
I have so many names.
I'm Legion.
If you look at me, one look and you die. I'm reaching out to
He's so annoying. He's just kind of pestering you. Oh. Ah.
Darth Maul.
Oh no. The ghost of evil markers has gotten to you.
Their planets' suns consumed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed its passing.
I hope they got out beforehand.
No, could you leave her?
They say black holes are like gateways to another universe.
Closed door 18.
Not that one. It just eats.
I was gonna say a little ship comes out,
Why
Mickey.
from home?
You just made it back somehow.
Find a planet, get a job, live a life same as the rest of the universe.
I'd have to settle down. Get a house or something, a proper house with doors and these carpets. Me, living in a house. Now that is terrifying.
You'd have to get a mortgage.
No.
Oh, yes.
I'm dying, that's it. I am dying, it is all over.
No more regeneration, show's over.
Well, that's not basic 5, 10, 20.
Ugh.
They've gone up to basic 30, but they can't.
Dr. Leod,
Ugh.
he is awake.
And you will worship him.
What the hell?
Meh.
He is awake.
Okay, he smiles like Pennywise.
Inget, can I have some protein one?
Oh, you've gone native.
Oh, don't knock it, it's nice. Protein one with just a dash of 3.
Meh.
She was 20. 20 years old.
So, how stiff are those drinks?
Reporting as a volunteer for the Expeditionary Force.
Doctor, this is breaking every single protocol. We don't even know who you are.
Yeah, but you trust me, don't you? And you can't let Ida get down there on her own. Go on. Look me in the eye. Yes, you do. I can see it. Trust it.
Come on, man, we hugged.
Should be going down.
You will remain here. No command can override this. Have you got that? My instructions only.
Pinky promise. Boy, what did I say?
Some sort of cave, cavern. It's massive. Well, this should help. Gravity globe.
You might be able to see better if there weren't lights shining on your face.
We've come this far. There's no turning back. Oh, did you have to? No turning back? That's almost as bad as nothing can possibly go wrong. This is going to be the best Christmas Wolford's ever had. Have you finished? Huh? Finished.
It's like the entrance to the city of Petra in Jordan.
Meh.
And you, Jefferson? Keep a guard on the end.
Officer at arms.
You can't fire a gun in here. What if you hit a wall?
Firing stock 15. Only impacts on organics.
Keep watch, guard them.
That's convenient.
I know what it says.
Then tell them.
When did you work that
It
out?
doesn't matter. Just tell them.
These are the words of the beast.
Meh.
And he has woken.
Kick him!
One of the strictures of condition red, I am authorized to shoot you.
But how many can you kill?
Shoot him!
We are the Legion of the Beast.
Legion! Meh.
Some may call him Abaddon. Some may call him Thor. Some may call him Satan.
Captain sees the you.
Shoot him!
Of despair, the deathless prince, the bringer of night.
Why didn't you shoot them? You have range!
Door sealed. Door sealed.
The pit is over, and I am free.
Alrighty. Every British people don't want to shoot a gun.
All right. Seeing some parallels to Dante's Inferno, where Satan has been trapped in the lake of ice, and now he's free. But again, speculating here that the civilization there is the one who bound him in the first place. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's a great setup. It's literally all exposition, and we gotta wait till next week to find out what happened.
It's a strange thing to do in the second season. Just the devil on this planet, apparently. Not just the devil, all the devils.
Well, I was thinking for a minute, because of the way the untranslated writing. Now, again, before I was an Oklahoma history teacher, as a world history teacher, there is one particular civilization that essentially our civilization knows about now from the past that we have not been able to translate anything that they've done. On the Indus River, there were two huge cities called Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa. This is known as the Harappan civilization. They're obviously very advanced, had government, city planning. I mean, literally everything that the Romans and the Chinese and the Greeks and the Egyptians and the Persians and everybody else. But somehow they've disappeared. It's most likely due to drought or earthquakes or whatever. But their civilization, although the people vanished, the structures remained. And there's, again, some form of hieroglyphic writing, but even with modern technology, modern computers, we've never been able to figure out what it is that they were trying to say to us. I can't remember, since Jean-Paul Young translated the hieroglyphics based on literally one single name. We've gone through the ancient Chinese and all the rest of them, but this is a civilization where we know nothing about it. So I was thinking this is where they were going, that this civilization, deposited some people on Earth hundreds of thousands of years ago, whatever. But now I have no idea. Now, again, it seems to be more like the beginnings of not only the Judeo-Christian Satan, but Abaddon and whoever these other devils and demons were, probably from ancient legends of the Persians or the Assyrians or Sumerians before that. None of the names were recognizable to me. I know that the Zoroastrians have a god of light named Ahura Mazda, but I can't remember what the demon was named. So anyway, I mean, it's world history teacher. It's fascinating. I want to see where it goes, but literally we just had 45 minutes of exposition with no clue where it's going.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, this episode is the mystery, it's the setup, it's the horror of being on this isolated planet. Everything's dark, everything's quiet, just somehow this planet that can orbit a black hole without being sucked into it. So, I mean, from what they have said in this episode, whatever the creature is, the beast, I mean, you can, I suppose you can take a guess, from what the legend was of, this planet is the bitter pill, the thing that, the black hole tried to take, but eventually spit back out. Maybe you could say it's a thing of like, well, maybe whatever civilization was here, maybe that was their first attempt at destroying the beast, or whatever this is, by sending it into the black hole. And perhaps it's entirely even possible they decided to sacrifice their own son, speed it along, and turn it into a black hole. And then, apparently, when that didn't work, it's just like, well, then let's counter the black hole and just trap the beast within it, so the opposing gravity forces would just trap it down. And so they're still, basically using the black hole to the advantage, because it's only when the beast is basically freed that the gravity field is ending and the planet is starting to actually lose its orbit and be sucked in. So
now there's an interesting, and I can't remember if this is actually in Dante's Inferno or not, but there's a theory, have you read the Inferno or parts of it?
Not much.
But at the bottom of the pit of hell, the 9 levels of hell, there is Satan trapped in a giant lake of ice, trapped by his waist. And he's pictured as this gigantic horned devil with the wings, and he's constantly flapping his wings trying to break free of the ice, unaware that it's the flapping of his wings that keeps the lake frozen, so that if he would simply stop struggling, he might be able to free himself. So it's a constant torment, like Sisyphus in the ancient Greek myths, where he's constantly pushing the rock up the hill, but every time he gets to the top, it rolls back down again. So, I don't know if that is at play here, that there was something keeping the beast down.
Yeah.
And these people have accidentally set him free by drilling down to him. So, I don't know. Again, there's a whole lot to process, but nowhere to go until we sit down 7 days from now and watch the second half.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of reminds me of, like, Atlantis a little bit. Also just the Disney movie Atlantis, where it's like, it's this ancient civilization, and what the humans see, obviously, is the power and potential from it. Because it's like, if that is the thing, that this gravity field, if this gravity field counterbalancing against the black hole, the pretty much the most powerful force of nature, it sucks in light, gravity, even time itself. And so counterbalancing off of that, you have to have this thing, this energy source that is the greatest, most powerful thing ever to counter it. And if that's keeping the beast down, that it's like, these humans are coming in, any disruption to that could potentially set it free. But that's why there is nothing, there's no more of this civilization. They're completely gone. Just everything should be gone. This planet and black hole should just be left alone, basically. But not only have humans found it, now the Doctor has also found it. But this could also explain why at the beginning the TARDIS clearly did not want to be here.
Yeah.
Because he said there's some sort of, the TARDIS is queasy for some reason, like it didn't want to come here. And maybe that's it, is that the TARDIS knows, like, we shouldn't be here, but if the humans are already here, the Doctor should be here to hopefully fix whatever situation could arise. Yeah. So,
now, again, this was at least 4 years ago. In the Sensorites, wasn't there some kind of drilling going on in that too?
I don't remember.
Because I thought there was a whole bunch of cave stuff that they had to do, and they were drilling for something, and they unleashed a beast or something like that. It has, just vague, and the bulb heads. Now, the Sensorites had just little, neck beards and things like that. But
yeah, I think the Ood are slightly inspired from the Sensorites, but yeah, I don't remember. The only thing I remember from the Sensorites I was gonna say, was like the cliffhanger shot where, like, they open the window and they're just kind of like there, and I remember that, though. I think they ended up like on the Sensorite planet. I think you're right. Maybe there was some sort of drilling thing.
Yeah, and there was a whole thing about the stripes or the stars or whatever that.
Yeah.
And there was an assassination plot against the leader. And again, this is 4 years ago, so I'm surprised I'm remembering any of this. But
yeah.
But again, that name Ood sounded familiar, and slightly different spelling. O-U-D is actually a musical instrument of some kind from Western Asia, as far as I remember. But yeah, so I'm getting all sorts of vibes from the 4 years ago. But again, for once, I have literally no idea where this is going.
Yeah. So, and the Ood are an interesting an interesting race. I mean, they immediately, work as the Legion parallel. They're the really creepy alien things that will be taken over by the bad guy, and it's all terrifying and stuff. But even at the beginning, it's like, they don't have names. They don't have titles. They don't have anything. They are one collective being, and they do talk basically telepathically through this hive mind, and that has made them susceptible to the beast, unfortunately. But it's interesting. I don't know if it's glossed over or not, but just the way they talk about the Ood, that it's like they're essentially a slave race. But the way they say it is not a thing of like, well, the humans just found this random species and did that. It's like the Ood basically offered their services as a slave race. And it's an interesting thing because it's like, immediately Rose is like, well, do humans need slaves? Do you need that? Just, do the work yourself and stuff. But it's interesting because they're not even thinking about it. Like, they're not, like, cruel. We never see them once being cruel to the Ood at all. It's just a thing of they serve a function, basically. Yeah. So it's an interesting idea, and obviously it works out of being the really creepy things that can be taken over by the beast.
And again, just to interject here before I forget it, lots of Judeo-Christian imagery and wording in there. The Satan and the devil described as the beast in the book of Revelation. The story of the demons that are inhabiting the man, and Jesus casts them out and they go into the pigs and drown themselves in the sea or the lake, I can't remember. When he asks them who they are, they say, "We are Legion." So again, I'm sure that there's going to be some kind of ancient religious context to all of this, but that's pretty much all I've got.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued, I'm interested, but I'm totally baffled by where this is going.
Yeah. I remember Legion was like the villain of the first Ghost Rider movie with Nicolas Cage, and I'm sure it's in the actual Ghost Rider comics. But I remember that was the thing because it was like the villain was like the devil's son, Blackheart, and he signed the contract and became Legion and had 1,000 souls within him. So the Ghost Rider burned all 1,000 souls. Spoiler alert for the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movie, but it was just kind of a thing of like he couldn't. I remember that being a plot point. Like he couldn't do anything to Blackheart until he actually gained that power. So,
and weird parallel. There's also a very, very bad. Is it Adam Sandler, the comedian from Saturday Night Live? There's a movie where he plays the son of Satan, and I think it's called Little Nicky or something like that. It's really, really bad.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, again, playing off of all that imagery.
It is one of those things that I don't know what you call this, because it is kind of a rare, like, I guess theming, but taking something like with this episode and the whole thing of the beast and the hell of the planet and stuff, or something like Ghost Rider, or also there's like the Castlevania stories that have like hunting demons and stuff like that. I don't know what this aesthetic or theming is of, let's take these creatures and stories from like, biblical texts or like other religions, and then let's just put them in a modern context, but like, I don't know, it's just like regular people fighting these things. I don't know why, but it's such an interesting theme. And like, here, like, this is Doctor Who. This is Doctor Who. This is a goofy man in a blue box with a screwdriver, and now we have this, ancient civilization and the legends of literally every demon that has been in every mythology appears to be this beast, and like, how is the Doctor going to deal with this? I mean, the only thing you could think is, well, there is a black hole. Maybe that could be something. But from the legend of this planet, it sounds like they already tried doing that with the black hole, and it didn't work. So I don't know. I mean, I do know. Obviously, I've seen the next episode, but
you probably saw it a couple of years ago and only have a vague memory of it, or do you know? pretty well what's happening here.
I only remember like a couple moments. I don't remember like how the plot resolves, basically, like what they end up doing. So, yeah, spoiler alert, the show keeps going. This isn't just the end of the show right here. Yeah. So, but yeah, but and especially too, because it's not like a finale or anything, despite being what seems to be such a big thing. It's the devil, and it's just like, it's just a two-parter within the season. Yeah. So,
and let me just say, I realized that most of Classic Who was 4-parters, and that there were, every week you had to wait for the next week for the next 25-minute episode. But I'm not as much a fan now. They've written such interesting and well done single episode stories that now we're getting into the 2-parters. I'm overly anxious.
Yeah.
And if we're going to have to wait a week because that's what we do. That's our schedule.
Yeah.
But if I were watching Doctor Who back in 2006 like this, I don't know. I think I would be somewhat bothered by it.
I mean, the thing is, I especially know, like, with some of the later, like, cliffhangers they do, I know that it was huge on, I guess Facebook, because, there wasn't really Twitter and stuff back then. But, like, on social media, as social media started to go, like, there was way more hype for each cliffhanger and then subsequent episode. But, yeah, I mean, we could start doing, because it is a thing, only going back now do I realize, like, almost half of the season is basically 2-parters.
Yeah.
Like, there's pretty much 7 episodes that are just standalone episodes, and then 6 episodes that take 2-part stories. So we had the Cybermen 2-parter, we have this 2-parter, and spoiler alert, we'll have the finale being a 2-part finale. But within 13 episodes, adding in maybe 1 extra for the Christmas special, it's like that's still a sizable chunk of the season being 2-parters. Yeah. So, and I guess that is the thing. I mean, it's the same thing when we did Classic Who, and we would have 6-part stories because we would break them up by 3 per week, basically. And I do remember a lot of those times where I would sit here and be like, well, yeah, that was interesting. We kind of talk about some of the setup and stuff, and I'm like, but I can't really comment on the rest of it because we haven't seen the rest of it. So, like, I would always just have, like, I don't know how much I can really talk about this one until we get to the next episode, basically. So,
and with the other 2-parters we've seen, both with Eccleston and now with David Tennant, this is the first one where I've said this 3 or 4 times now, I literally have no idea where this is going.
Yeah.
There is so much exposition, so much to take in, that trying to process it and even vaguely figure out where it's going, I'm almost completely lost on this.
Yeah, because it's like, just because it's so out there, it's like, we arrive on this planet, for some reason, it's not falling into a black hole that it's close to, and then the episode just keeps going. It's like, okay, there's some sort of like horror element going on here. It's like, okay, it's kind of creepy. And then by the end, it's like, the devil. I was not prepared for the devil. So yeah, it's...
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Well, yeah, so yeah, it is tricky, and this one definitely leaves it very open-ended of just like, what's going to happen next, Although maybe what will happen next is they shoot the Ood. Like, why? Like, he's literally... They've already killed someone. It's just like, I don't know why. Just don't shoot them. Unless they knew they had to, like, well, we're building up the cliffhanger. Maybe in the next one we'll shoot him. But, like, just shoot him already.
I wonder, though, because you kept saying that. And again, although British culture and American culture share so many similarities, one of the things the British do not have is a gun culture.
Yeah.
Right? And unfortunately here in the United States, it started in the West and now it's gone all over the entire United States. But the gun culture here in the United States is shoot first and ask questions later, if you ask questions at all. It's just shoot. Stand your ground. But in Britain, I mean, shooting is literally a last resort. Only if your own life is in danger or the lives of other people and you're trying to save them. So that may be part of what it is here. And again, like you said, maybe they're simply saving that for the second episode.
Yeah.
But I do somewhat understand that. But, like you said, when they've already killed one of your people, you shoot. You have to. You defend yourselves and your people. That's just the way it is.
Like, when they're like this far from your face and you can't get that door open behind you, shoot them.
Shoot them. Shoot them both.
Or kick them. I don't know. Just immobilize them. Like, go for the knees. Go for the ball that could kill you. You know. So,
boil some water and get some drawn butter. They look like crustaceans anyway.
Yeah. So,
I'm wondering. It's 2006. When was Pirates of the Caribbean?
Would have been around this time.
Yeah, I'm wondering which came first because again, although their facial tentacles don't move, that is very similar to the Davy Jones character.
Yeah, and like a lot of the crew of the Flying Dutchman. So, yeah, and it is more. It's all practical rather than Davy Jones being CG. But yeah, that's true. Could have had maybe a little inspiration, or not, or they just thought this is the grossest looking thing we could come up with, but it'll be offset by the. Because I mean that's such a good thing, when they do the we must feed, in that voice, and then you get back from the opening credits, we must feed you if you are hungry, and it's like, oh, they seem nice, so, yeah. I'd ask you if there was anything else, but you already said there's nothing else, so.
I literally got nothing.
Well, yeah. So, next time we will move on to part 2 of this, which is called The Satan Pit. So, with all of that being said, we're Alex and Dad from 7th Hour Films, and we will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of our modern Doctor Who reactions, as well as another playlist with all Doctor Who reactions we've ever done. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.